anytime I make a comment on any company that competes with Tesla, I get a lot of negative feedback and hate, as if I absolutely hate Tesla. I don't hate Tesla. In fact, I'm a huge fan of Tesla. I've been driving a Tesla for 10 years. I was a major, most of my portfolio was made up of Tesla stock between 2015 and 2021. So I've been a huge fan, and from my perspective, there's like Tesla, the company, which I think is has just killed it and knocked it out of the park, and continues to do things on the cutting edge. And then there's Tesla, the stock, as an investment, which I thought got ahead of its skis in 2021 when it hit over $400 a share. And even to this day, it's only, 4 years later, it's only like approaching $500 a share. So 2021, my call of like Tesla having been overvalued a bit was correct. And I also think it's overvalued even today because it has roughly a $1.6 trillion valuation with less than 100 billion in revenues. And the revenues are going down. Like the trailing 12 months revenues was minus 1.6%. So when you look at Tesla as an investment and you ask the question, when are you going to have double digit revenue growth? And in order for a $100 billion revenue company to have double digit revenue growth, it has to have over $10 billion of additional revenue and keep its existing revenue, right? And where's that additional $10 billion of additional revenue going to come from just to get 10% growth? Well, the Tesla community or Tesla investors would tell you it's all about robotaxis and the Optimus robots. Well, robotaxis are unlikely going to generate even single digit billions of revenues in 2026. So if you were to be realistic about it, if Tesla were to pass where Waymo is today with robotaxis in 2026, and even double what Waymo has done over the past year in 2026, then it would have roughly $700 million in revenue from robotaxis. And if it does it at a lower cost to Waymo in order to sort of get more rides out there, then the actual revenue might be even less than 700 million. So if they just knock it out of the park and have $1 billion in revenue, that would be a huge success from a robotaxi perspective. But it's still 1 billion in revenue compared to 100 billion in total revenues. So it's roughly at 1% increase, assuming they hold on to the other 100 billion in revenue. And from the robotics perspective, even Elon does not expect to sell significant numbers of the Optimus robots in 2026. The first publicly released version of Optimus will likely only sell in the tens of thousands of units in its first year because they want to test them out, make sure that they're solid, they're good, they get their manufacturing processes down, and they sell them at a profit. So don't expect there to be 1 million units in the first year. Tens of thousands of units means, again, sub $1 billion of revenue in the first year. So 2026 Tesla revenues is also not going to be significantly greater than 2025 Tesla revenues. So, they might have single digit growth, but double digit seems unlikely. And even if they get to double digit growth, maybe they get to 10%, maybe they get to 11%, but we're not talking about the 50% growth rate that Tesla used to have. And that's the kind of growth rate that Elon predicted as late as 2021 that they would have in the foreseeable future. So, you know, from a revenue and profitability perspective, I think Tesla is going to continue to be where it is, at least for 2026. And then, 2027, if things are, starting to scale, they might actually get to solid double digit, 15, 20% growth and possibly beyond. So 2026, I think, is going to be still a rough year for Tesla.